I think it's time. I think it's time. Stirring the coffee with chopsticks using the vortex method, the only true way to optimize the taste of your coffee at the molecular level. Good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We'll get started. But first, coffee. This is the Spanish Bustelo Espresso. Nice. This stuff will put hair on your chest, no doubt. I don't do the Daybreak Show live very often, which means there's no editing, which means that there's going to be mistakes, which means that uh, I can't go back and make things better. So I don't do too much editing on the normal Daybreak Show, but we'll get going here. Interesting thing, I have a doctor appointment today with a new doctor who is awakened, not woke. And I'm going to be talking about things like blood pressure, metabolic syndrome, weight, health issues regarding longevity. So I'm pretty psyched up about that. Well, good morning, everybody. It's good to see you. I never get a chance to say hello to my morning folks. Good morning from Germany. That's wonderful. Yes, and happy 2022 to you as well. The rooster is upside down because the world is upside down. And the only hope for that is that right there, Christ. Let's just make that clear. So we have two different, let me get my fingers right here. There we go. Right? How do I do this? Oh, there we go. One down, and one up. Everything is the opposite on the screen on the monitor here. John Hoover from Austin, Texas. You were with me like 8 hours ago online, and now you're here. My God, do you ever sleep? That would actually mean that I'm not sleeping. Here's a question for you. What is your New Year's revolution? What is your New Year's revolution? You heard me correct. I didn't say resolution. What is your New Year's revolution? Think about that now. Where are you going to revolt and say, God damn it, no, fucking no to stuff in your life? When are you going to say no to high blood pressure? When are you going to say, holy crap, what is it now? 6:02 in the morning and people are texting me already. What the hell? This is one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to, I don't have a hard line phone, like a hard telephone line. I have only a cell phone. And I want to remove electronics from my bedroom, but I like having a phone nearby for emergencies. So maybe I'll just put it on the other side of the room. I don't know if my sleep is getting affected by Wi-Fi or cell phone signals. I don't know. Where is the revolution? And that's a play on the word resolution. Where is the revolution going to be in your life? Are you going to say no to metabolic syndrome? Are you going to say no and revolt against high blood pressure? Are you going to say no, fuck no to obesity? Are you going to say no to the big clothes in your closet and dresser? Are you going to say yes to a trimmer, thinner life? Are you going to say no to cancer? Are you going to say no to sickness? What are you going to do this year? What is your New Year's revolution, not resolution? Where are you going to put your foot down and say, no, damn it, no? I suggest that the first place that it starts is with you, your New Year's revolution. Are you in a shitty relationship? That's got to go. Has to go. Are you sluggish? Are you in a size 40 pair of jeans? Size 40-inch waist when you really should be a size 32? When you come out of the shower and you look down, can you see your feet or your dick, or is your belly in the way? Say no to the belly. Carnuary is coming up. Notice I said Carnuary, not January. Some of you, how about just trying carnivore for January, or just trying it Monday through Friday, and then have pizza and cheesesteaks and fries on Saturday and Sunday? Your face will get thinner. Your belly will disappear in a month. Just gone. It'll be gone. Your ass will get smaller. I'm telling you right now. And while you're doing it, if you're not like the working out type, then do sets of 10 push-ups throughout the day. 10. If you're not used to doing 10, it'll be hard. 10 will be hard to pump out. Then do 5, or do 1, or do them against a wall, or on like the edge of your countertop, like in your kitchen. Okay? You don't have to have a full planking, you don't have to be like this. All right, here's the average push-up. The person's doing this. Okay? What if you leaned against a countertop in your kitchen and did this? Okay, your push-up was like that. All right. It's still a push-up. It's a start. It's a start. For those that aren't used to that, it's going to be hard. Push-ups are good because they also include, well, think about it. Push-ups are really planks in motion. You're planking, so to speak, but you're moving. You're keeping your body erect as you're doing that. What about doing push-ups on a table? You could do that. Push-ups on a table. I'm already getting texts. Imagine that. First thing this morning. Okay. That's interesting. All right. So that's a video from Clearview. It's 6:07 here, which means it's 12:07 for her in Poland. Hello, Agnieszka. Good morning, my dear. I am doing the Daybreak show live. So what is your New Year's revolution? What are you going to change? What are you going to say fuck no to? What are you going to say? I've had it. I fucking had it, and I'm changing. When are you going to go into your refrigerator? When are you going to go into your refrigerator and just dump the shit out of it? Just put the trash can in front of it. So, Alex, thank you for the super chat. 100 push-ups, 100 squats, use resistance bands. You don't have to leave the house. Ideally, do 100 burpees as long as you get it done. Zero excuse. Alex, you're a smart man. Smart man. Yeah. Now, a lot of people, you don't know this, but I naturally am hypertensive. I naturally have high blood pressure, naturally, just no matter what I do, no matter how skinny I am, no matter whatever, my blood pressure is always pretty high. And I have to work. I fight metabolic syndrome. I'm the only person in my family that had to deal with diabetic issues. As a matter of fact, it's that time of day, and I just want to show you something. All right, be patient with me here. This is going to surprise a lot of people. Hold on, I'll be right back. I'm in my pajamas right now, so hold on. All right, so this is the shit that I got to do. All right, it's fucked up, completely fucked up. And I'm going to do it live. Let it be a warning and an inspiration for you, okay? All right, so I'm dealing with metabolic syndrome, and I'm fighting it. That's why I have this consult with this doctor today who's going to really help me with my metabolism. And this is why I'm starting a strict bodybuilding program in January. But I get up in the morning, and I do this. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay. See that? This is that fucking hurts. I don't give a shit. I don't care what anyone says. I never get used to sticking a fucking needle in myself. Hate that shit. I don't want to do this anymore. That's why I'm meeting with this doctor. It's pretty fucked up. Oh, I've got vitamins. Believe me, I got vitamins. I have vitamin D, 5,000 units right here. I take between 10 and 20,000, depending on the season. I take quercetin. I take NAC for respiratory health. I take vitamin C. I take zinc. I take a baby aspirin. I've been taking ashwagandha. It has been very helpful. Also for a supplement, I take broccoli. It's broccoli seed, and this lowers blood sugar naturally. It contains I'm trying to think of what it's called. It's a type of gas. It's a type of gas that naturally lowers blood sugar. So, yeah. Anyways, so your New Year's revolution has to start with you. Like revolution, everyone is talking about, revolution in society and all this kind of stuff like that. If you can't beat the tyranny in your own body, how are you going to do it in society? You got it? How you going to beat tyranny in society if you can't beat the tyranny and the compulsions in your own body? That's very difficult. So I say, make the revolution very personal this year. All right, it is now December 31st. Tomorrow is January 1st. You literally in 1 month can have a new body and a new face. Literally. In 1 month, you will have to throw out clothes that you currently have. If you really want to do it right, Don't just put them in the back of the closet. Literally get rid of them. Because as long as you have the size 42 jeans in the drawer or in the closet, in the back of the closet, it's almost like you don't have complete faith that your weight loss is going to last. So let me ask you this. What is your New Year's revolution? Not resolution. There is a furniture maker in Honeybrook, Pennsylvania. It's kind of like the beginning of Amish country as you're driving west. They give employees the option of hourly wage or piecework, the piecework rate. This is, like I said, Amish country. So this company owner has a handful of Amish young men on staff, furniture builders. Upon hiring, the Amish choose the piecework rate versus the hourly rate. And they consistently make 2 to 3 times more than their hourly wage counterparts. Okay, so let's say you go to this furniture place, this furniture manufacturing place, and it's not high-end furniture. It's like Adirondack chairs, picnic tables, outdoor patio furniture, this kind of stuff. I don't know what the wage is. Let's just say it's $20 an hour because they're cutting, they're sanding, they're drilling, they're putting in screws and nuts and bolts and this kind of thing. Let's say it's $20 an hour. You think, okay, $20 an hour, that's not a bad job just to put together furniture. I got to be there from 7 o'clock in the morning till 4 in the afternoon. Now, I make my 40,000 a year, $20 an hour. It's labor intensive. It's not real heavy lifting, but you're constantly moving. It's a physical job. Your coworker who is Amish does piecework, which means that he gets paid per piece of furniture that he assembles. He consistently makes 2 to 3 times more than you. You make $20 an hour. He's making $40 to $60 an hour times 40 hours a week. He's crushing it. He just doesn't work at a slow rate, just shuffling around. He's hustling his ass off. He takes half of the lunch that everyone else does, and he makes 2 to 3 times more money than the people who take the hourly wage. Imagine that. When it comes time to lose weight, everybody puts up like before and after pictures. I love this. Shouldn't the fat picture be the after pic, right? The real before pic was when you were thin. Think about it. Let's just be honest here. The real before pic is when you were thin, when you were trim. And the real after pic is the fat pic. So if we are intellectually honest, let me get a sip of my coffee first. If we are intellectually honest, there really should be 3: before, after, and then after again. That's what I think. I just think it's like a psyop when you say before and after. I used to be fat, now I'm skinny. No, it doesn't work that way. You used to be skinny, then you got fat, then you got smart, then you got skinny again. That's how it really works. Now, does skinny mean you're healthy? No. It doesn't. It doesn't. Like, for instance, I give myself a shot in my belly that you just saw, and it still fucking hurts. Just me and needles. Imagine a guy, imagine a guy who doesn't like needles, who has to stick a needle in himself on a regular basis. Talk about facing your fears. To me, people say, it's like nothing. You just do it. Like, I'm like, fuck that. It hurts me every time. It hurts every time. But I have a natural tendency towards high blood pressure and a natural tendency towards uh, metabolic syndrome. And I'm an active guy, and I'm not fat. I don't have a six pack, but you can see it. I'm not afraid to go to the beach, in a bathing suit. My body looks good, but yet I'm still dealing with this shit, which tells me that there's something else going on inside there that I got to deal with. That's why I'm working with this new doctor today. Yeah. I can't do the snake diet because of sodium. The sodium uh, literally spikes my blood pressure. Can't do it. As much as I want to, people with a tendency towards hypertension cannot do the snake diet. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It can kill you, believe it or not. The snake diet is for people who don't have a natural propensity for hypertension. Yeah. I don't drink enough coffee. Christopher says, quit the coffee. I don't drink enough coffee to affect me. I've already spoken with many doctors on that. Coffee for me is literally is a more of a brain thing for me than anything else. It's a nootropic that it's not that I drink it in moderation. I drink it in less than, if there's a such thing as moderation, what's the next level below moderation? That's what I drink. Many times I don't even finish my cup of coffee, but I do like the first few sips. A reporter sticks a microphone in Paul Harvey's face and he asks, does being Paul Harvey help you get girls? Paul Harvey replies, well, it helped me to get one. I forget how long he was married for it to the same woman. What a great answer. You don't need to get girls. You need to just get one. And you don't have to test drive every single one on your way to the one. You don't have to take everyone to the track. Just a little hint there. I'll never forget 2 years ago when I saw somebody on Facebook saying they put up, like they got those like little banner things that go around their profile picture, and it said like, stay home, save lives, or something like that. The the virtue signaling BS, you know, like the I got my vaccine kind of stuff, which I just friggin' can't stand that nonsense. First of all, it's not a vaccine. And just because something comes out of a pharmaceutical company doesn't mean that it's medicine. This is a political disease. It's a political disease. Is COVID? I'm actually sick and tired of saying, yes, COVID is real. Of course it's real. It's a fucking flu. It's a bad flu. That could lead to pneumonia. So I don't stay home to save lives. I stay home because you are annoying, and I noticed that you didn't stay home. even though you signal it all over your social media. Stay home and save lives. Shut the hell up with that. So here we go. This is out of Israel. Massive new bird flu outbreak could be 2022's deadly pandemic. Let me click on that and see what that is like. This one's great. In Galilee, migrating cranes infected with H5N1 are dying by the thousand, raising fears of a global pandemic. Israel, don't even get me fucking going on Israel. Israel's national security. Oh, by the way, I don't stand with Israel. Just want to let you know that. I'm a Christian and I don't stand with Israel. I stand with fellow Christians, period. Israel's National Security Council has assumed control of a massive bird flu outbreak in Galilee, which scientists warn could become a mass disaster for humans. Fear-mongering much? Over 500 million migrating birds pass through the area every year, heading for warm African winters or balmy European summers, making this a catastrophic location for a major bird flu outbreak, right at the nexus of the global avian travel. Oh, God. Here we go. Predictive programming again. See, these fags always tell you ahead of time what's going to go on. They start the fear early. So here, we're not even into 2022. And a day before 2022 starts, the Israeli National Security Council is assuming control of a massive bird flu outbreak. And the Israeli scientists warn that this could be a mass disaster for humans, which means they're already planning it. Fucking bastards. They're already planning it. And then guess what? I'm sure the vaccine for that will already be, it's probably already in the works. So you'll go to your doctor, and once a year you will get check this out now. My ex-wife used to work for a pharmaceutical company that started with the word M. She was Senior Director of Medical Data. And this was back in the days before computers, before laptops. She would take home reams of adverse events that she tracked adverse events from vaccines. And she worked in the MMR, measles, mumps, and rubella department. Everything from adverse reactions at the injection site to aches and pains and deaths and headaches and strokes and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of that stuff, man, I just saw it with my own eyes. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. So they have this shot, measles, mumps, and rubella. Okay. It's like treating 3 things with 1 shot. This is what I predict. I believe that there's going to be another multiple treatment shot coming. I'm not even going to say vaccine because we're at the point where they're not even vaccines. A multiple ailment shot that's going to be recommended or pushed on us annually. And it will be like the COVID, bird flu, whatever the fuck the next disease of the week is, a combined shot. Now you go to the doctor and they go, did you get your flu shot? It's almost like natural. Did you get your flu shot? Did you get your flu shot yet? Within 2 years, they're going to be like, did you get your COVID bird ooga booga shot? And they're going to be combined. And what's going to happen is you are going to have a scarlet letter on you if you refuse the shot. You're going to be, like people say, are you anti-vax? I'm not anti-vax when vaccines were actually vaccines. Not when they were trying to change my fucking DNA. And not when European athletes are dropping dead on the field and entire cruise ships are sick with COVID, but they have 100% vaccination rate. Navy ships, same thing. Japan or South Korea has a 98% vaccination rate. 98%. But 60% of the people in South Korea right now have tested positive for COVID. Boy, that's really working, isn't it? You notice they got to change the definitions of shit just constantly changing the definitions, moving the goalposts back and around. It's like a Benny Hill chase. You know how Benny Hill would chase people in fast motion? That's exactly what's happening here. All right, on to more exciting news. A new collaboration on manhood with Father Michael Butler of Holy Transfiguration Orthodox Church in Michigan. I didn't know that he was a subscriber until he reached out. We had a really good talk yesterday afternoon, and we have many things in common. We both enjoy men's events, retreats, conferences, weightlifting, bodybuilding, discussing the ancient faith, lives of the saints, confession, blessings, how to be better men. And he told me about a new men's conference coming up. It'll be virtual in 2022, but in person in 2023. And he said it's going to be for 500 to 1,000 men. We're going to do our first podcast here a week from now, I believe next Thursday. He's a good guy. As far as the bodybuilding is concerned, I think he's more of a size kind of bodybuilder. He's more into like the size kind of thing. He's pretty jacked, whereas I am more of the trimmer, like what I would call trimmer, more swimmers physique kind of bodybuilding. I like being thin. Maybe I should say the word trim. I like being trim and lean, whereas he's like jacked and big kind of thing. But that's still bodybuilding, and one is not better than another. It's a preference. So there's different aesthetic goals within bodybuilding. I can show you some of the people in my life. It's driving me mad. It's just another way of passing the day. I get so lonely when she's not there. I, I. Turn it on again. The band Genesis from 1980. I really like that song. Look up the song. Look up the song after the Daybreak show. And just listen to the drumming in that song. It's going to stick out now that I mention it. Listen to the drumming in that song. Speaking of drumming, what's the guy's name? He came on last night's live stream. I believe that his name is Jeff Murray, and he says he just finished an album, and he sent me it on like Google Sound or something. I forget what it was. And I'm really digging it, like really digging it. And I asked him, I said, what are your influences? But what I heard was Collective Soul. I heard Soundgarden. I heard Alice in Chains. I heard Jane's Addiction. I heard some of those influences in there and I really liked it. Maybe I need to ask him to do a theme song for the Daybreak show. But the guitar and drums from this dude, Jeff Murray, have been, it blew my mind. I listened to it early this morning, believe it or not. Really enjoyed it. So I don't know if there will be some kind of collaboration between Jeff Murray and myself, but a young guy, like super talented and a killer voice too. Just like a good old fashioned like rock and roll voice. And if I can help you find a new guy, a new band, a new artist that you're going to enjoy, I would be so excited and very proud to do that. But this guy's music was great. I loved it. Let's talk about goals. My best year for goals was literally 10 years ago. So I'm 61 now. Yeah, like when I was like 50, 51. I remember reaching all my goals. I had everything written down on a yellow legal pad. And I'll never forget that I reached all my goals by the end of the first quarter. So January, February, March. By April 1st of that year, I reached all my goals. And was very tempted to just kind of like put on cruise control and don't do anything for the rest of the year. And I thought to myself, uh, no, I'm going to start working on the next year's goals. That's the thing. That's why I think everybody needs to do 1, 3, 5, and 10-year goals if you can. 1, 3, 5, and 10-year goals. Because what if you reach your first year goal within the first few months of a year? What are you going to do? Just do nothing? Ever since I met you, seems I can't forget you. The thought of you keeps running through the back of my mind. Every time I'm near you, I get the urge to feel you. Just touching you and loving you makes everything right. The Spinners, 1974. Wait 1 second here. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I'm back. I hope I didn't lose you. I'm on the Wi-Fi in the house rather than going through the satellite network outside. Peg Bell, good morning. Good to see you. Coffee's on. That's great. That's great. Yeah, Daybreak show live. A little bit different than last night, right? Let me read something that I wrote, my lord, about 20 years ago. I used to be clinical director. Boy, now here's a story for you. I used to be clinical director of geropsych services, which means psychiatric services for geriatric patients. That's all that means. It's a fancy word. It's a fancy word for uh, a mental clinic for older people with psychiatric problems. And I wrote this, I had to do a presentation, kind of like a TED talk, about 20 years ago. I was probably, I don't know, I was 39 or 40. And I was speaking at a conference, doing like a TED talk kind of thing on dementia and losing your mind and neurological impairment. So this is where that's from. This is an excerpt from that talk. Thoughts on dementia. Neurologically, anger is a shortcut emotion. I like to call it the ramen noodle of emotions because it's the easiest to get. Electrical impulses don't have to travel as far to create visible negative reactions. Love and caring, the concepts of love and caring are neurologically more complex than anger. Now, think about this. When dementia is at the door, some become more angry and harder to deal with. Why is that? Some people, when they start having signs of dementia, they get very nasty. And you're thinking to yourself, where is that coming from? It's almost like they literally forgot how to be nice. That's just kind of like the outsider's opinion. The reality about dementia is this, is that being loving and caring is a more complex neurological action. Being angry is easy. There's a lot of shortcuts to anger. It's almost like the nice part of the neurological network is too hard to travel on. They forgot how to be nice, but remembered how to be nasty. It's like taking a shortcut to a store. The road or neurological path most traveled becomes the easiest traveled when the brain starts to decline. Do you know any sweet old people? Do you know any nasty, bitter old people? Combative, hardened, opinionated, potentially violent, no guard on their mouth, hurtful, isolative, less and less friends. They've pushed people away. Much of that is chosen by the person themselves early on when they didn't consider plan B or other paths. It's really bad to be old and isolated. Really, really bad. It's not good. It's kind of like the fast track to dying. It's almost like committing suicide over a period of 10 years. It's not totally innocent at first, but the wall that people build around themselves gives them more neurological incentive to build a higher and higher wall around themselves. A possible remedy might be more neurologically complex experiences such as reading, eliminating the TV. I've been talking about getting rid of television or reducing television watching for probably 35 years. Pursuing and participating in art, travel, openness to travel to unfamiliar places, make new friends, and that's got to start now. What you do now is going to affect your mind and how your mind works 10 years from now, 20 years from now. Make new friends, etc. Another reason that the 20th century version and 21st century version of retirement, you can tell I wrote this in the 20th century. Another reason that the 20th century version of retirement is not healthy for the body or the mind. We need to reinvent senior years. Don't work, then retire, and then fade away. You're meant to work until you die. I didn't say you're meant to work full time. You might only work mornings. You might only work afternoons. You might only work 3 days a week. But you need to work, you need to be productive. It's not about earning, it's about socialization, it's about accountability, it's having to be somewhere, and it's about productivity, period. Working after your mid-60s is not about money. It's about neurological balance, productivity, usefulness, social interaction, the neurological benefits of risk and reward, and other things that give the brain a workout and keep it healthy. Those are the bullet points for the TED talk that I gave, a TED-like talk that I gave to a auditorium filled with physicians and psychiatrists and social workers and nurses, probably back in 1999. I took a poll and I asked, absence makes the heart grow fonder or absence makes the heart wander? 43% said fonder, absence makes the heart grow fonder. 41% said absence makes the heart wander. And then my third option that I gave says distance ignites desire. And that was 16%. I'm going to add that to the top one of fonder, and that'll be 59%. So it's about a 60-40 split there. Living on top of one another and breathing down each other's necks might not be a good thing, but neither is being away for a long period of time. And I ask, what do you think is the most amount of time to be away from your spouse, your loved one, before you start to wander or before there's trouble? Can you travel for a week and still be thinking of your spouse and still feeling full of fidelity? Does absence make you want them more? Or is it just kind of like out of sight, out of mind? It's a good question for a group, right? My best pick film of 2013 was a movie called The Spectacular Now. Hold on one second, folks. Hold on. I'm navigating my phone here. Okay, we are back. The Spectacular Now wasn't even nominated. If you get a chance to find this on Netflix or Amazon somewhere, it's this little gem of an independent film. The trailer on YouTube is horrible. Horrible. It's nasty. It just does not even communicate what the film is all about. And it's something that It's almost misleading. But trust me, if you find the movie The Spectacular Now, I'm not going to say anything else about it. It's a phenomenal film. So highly underrated. I think you'll enjoy it. Let me ask a question for you more seasoned people out there. When did you think you hit your prime? Or do you think you are still on your way to your prime and getting better? Or do you feel like you reached your prime and now you're just kind of in decline, like a slow decline? Like, I don't feel like I've hit my prime yet. And here I am in my early 60s. I feel like I have a lot of living left to do. I feel like I have a lot of improvement left in my mind, my body, my family. I don't feel that it's on the way out. Had a lot of interesting reactions to my video of I Don't Condemn You. You know, I work professionally with people in the public sector who did some pretty shitty things. And that led to working privately with people in the private sector who've done some pretty shitty things. So my unofficial business guidestone and credential has turned out to be this: I don't condemn you. And I think when I was younger and full of more piss and vinegar, I was more into the opposite of that. I don't want to say condemning people, but I feel like I am just like so much more forgiving. Only, and I think the reason is this: it's not because I'm more, oh, godly, has nothing to do with that. I think it has to do with just being older and walking a little bit softer, and also being aware of my own mistakes and shortcomings. Just it just makes you it just makes you walk a little bit softer. And I've talked about this. I've talked about being humble, how being sick makes you humble, how being weak creates humility. Knowing you can't do the things that you used to do brings you humility if you're honest with yourself. As I'm looking at myself in the monitor, I'm like, holy crap, I'm gnarly. Man, I'm just out of bed. I am just out of bed. Didn't even comb the hair or beard. So sorry about the gnarliness. Sometimes if it wasn't for incompetent managers and crappy companies, nobody would start new businesses. Imagine that. Sometimes it takes a little bit of, what would be the word? Not cognitive dissonance, but almost a cognitive indifference to be able to think, you know, I think I could do this better, whether it be a men's convention, whether it be a company, whether it be something, an existing product or service, thinking, I can do this better. And you start working towards that ideal. They used to call that building a better mousetrap. I'm the kind of man who likes to get away, likes to start dreaming about tomorrow today. Never said that I loved you, even though it's so. Where's that duffel bag of mine? It's time to go. Marshall Tucker Band, 1977. Song is called Heard It in a Love Song. Sometimes a poorly run workplace and bad leadership is just the kick in the pants a person needs to spread their wings and do their own thing. Little blessings in disguise. Constructive discontent. Being a little bit uncomfortable or a lot uncomfortable can make you say, you know what, screw this. I'm going to do it and I'm going to do it right because so and so is just one big, huge lesson on how to do it wrong. And there's nothing stopping you from doing it right. Boy, so many things escalated in the past 2 days. Think about it, the week before New Year's, between Christmas and New Year's, really turned out to be really weird with Jack Murphy and Manosphere stuff, and then with the Denver shooter guy. Just crazy, crazy crap. You know, people need to talk about this stuff, man. We need to talk about solutions and not just point fingers. What are the solutions to all this stuff? I think it's only going to get worse in 2022 as people are more radicalized. That's what I think. This is interesting. I took a poll that I don't believe at all. I asked women, what male body style is most attractive to you? This is too funny. Hold on a second. There we go. What male body style is most attractive to you? And I gave 4 options: swimmer physique, bodybuilder, teddy bear, or dad bod. There were 57 votes. And the winner is, and I'll give first place, women, what is the male body style that is most attractive to you? The winner is dad bod. Get the out of here with that dad bod. No, thank you. No, thank you. Second was swimmer physique. So almost like these opposites. And then bodybuilder and teddy bear were both at 11%. But it seemed like out of the 57 votes, half the women want dad bod, half the women want the swimmer physique, which is more like what I have. Who do you think will live longer? Dad bod or swimmer physique? What are your thoughts on that? Who will live longer? Who's healthier? Although I'm a living example of having a decent aesthetic, but the lab work needs to be tuned up a little bit. It's interesting. I saw, this is so funny, place where I work 3 days a week, they got a sign up that says, literally says, cough and sneeze into your elbow. Like, don't project your coughs out. And this is a place where they also wear masks. Okay. So, what are people doing? All right, you cough into your elbow. But people aren't shaking hands. I'm a handshaker. They're not even fist bumping because they're so afraid to do that. What are they doing? They're bumping elbows. Like you see, so you encounter somebody in the hallway, you But I just got done coughing and sneezing into this elbow for the past 3 hours because the sign said so on the door. But when I greet you in the medical facility that I work in, I give you the elbow. Just one stupid ass contradiction after another. Yeah. All right, let me address B. Cage. Not a fan of Jack Goldman Murphy, and as far as the shooter, I don't know, George. Your guess is probably better than mine, seeing as you're a psychologist who works with these guys. I'm not a psychologist, I'm a psychotherapist. Huge difference. Huge difference. But uh, I just think the red pill turned him into a guy who thought he was a superhero, thought he could get away with it. And anyone who goes on a shooting spree must have no hope. He lost all hope. And he wrote books on being a man. I think he committed suicide. I mean, to me, when you shoot 5 people and then get into a shootout with a cop, that's the same as just putting a gun on yourself. Dad bod, my wife says she likes the extra padding. I think she's fattening me up to be unattractive to other women. Or, or she wants to justify her own lard ass. That's what I think. Like, hey, both of us can be fat together. I say this, and I love the whole concept of the 1,000-foot tow rope. Imagine a ship just going along in the ocean. It has a 1,000-foot tow rope, and there's another boat behind it. But when the big ship, the big cruise ship, takes a turn, it's still pulling the little ship along. Okay. Now, what'll happen is until that line gets taut in the other direction, then the little ship will finally turn around and start following the big ship. So you as a man in your marriage are the big ship. You start working on yourself, trimming down, getting more muscular, getting more virile. What'll happen is there may initially be a rift, a distance that puts in between you and your wife, but eventually she'll start doing the same. She'll start doing the same. So it takes time, but you lead the way. Don't get fat. Couples get fat together. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's not good. You know, it's not good. It's not good for your health. It's not good for your sex life. It's not good for your intimacy. It's just not good. So I would say start lifting, don't get fat. Start lifting, don't get fat. Start exercising. I don't know what your exercises look like. But the reality is anyone who loves you and wants you to be fat has a strange motivation. Yeah. Ron Love says, create competition anxiety. Yeah. That's not a bad thing, is it? Go to morning coffee. Yes, I have my coffee right here. I stirred it with 3 chopsticks. During the month of December, I've been using 3 chopsticks. in honor of the Holy Trinity, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Everything on this show is symbolic. Everything. There's 3 to 5 different nuances on this show every day. Yeah. It's just barely getting light out right now. It's kind of sunny. Ionut, Amare. I read 1 book a week, so 52 books a year. I know you asked that 9,000 times during this interview. I read 1 book a week, and I'm always working on 5 to 7 books at all times. And I have them set up next to the little sofa that I sit on every morning, and I should show it to you. It's not really organized well, but I know. Maybe I'll take you there. Hold on a second. You're going to think this is weird. I'll take you on a tour of where my books are. I never did this before, so let's see if this works. Hold on. Okay. I just don't want to fall while I'm staring into the phone. This is a tri-level home, and this is where I sit in the morning and read right here. But off to the side are the books that I'm reading right there. And I always put my cup of coffee on that bandana right there. Those are some Christmas decorations right there. But my glasses, I always keep like a little lens cleaner right there. But those are the books that I'm reading right now. 5 to 7 books at any given time. And this is where I sit in the morning, just quietly reading. Sometimes I put a little blanket on my lap and have my coffee here. It's quiet. Yeah. Let's see what it's like outside right now. Do you want to go outside with me? I've never done this on the Daybreak show. I put bird seed in bird feeders, suet. There's the deck. Some of you remember the video from this deck. Remember that deck? You remember that deck from probably 5 years ago? That was the Don Julio video. And then out in the backyard, I have a row of hedges here. And then a nook area where I sit out here. And then the rest of the backyard, houses behind me. And then the houses don't have fences in between them. It just goes on way down. More bird houses. I take the bird bath. See this right here? I tip this so it doesn't gather water and freeze and crack because it's made of cement. So I just keep it like that during the winter. That's what I do. And then, man, it's freezing out. What the heck am I doing? Today is trash day. So it's my truck right there. So I'm going back in because I'm cold. This is crazy. Freezing. Back up the stairs. Pretty wild, huh? Well, that's new for a Daybreak show. So I'm going to this doctor today, and the number one goal is to talk about longevity and quality of life, because the medical practice that I went to for many years was just all about everything is medication, everything. Like, I don't think I've ever been there where they haven't tried to recommend some kind of shot, getting your flu shot, getting your shingles shot, getting this, getting that. And I'm good. I'm good. I do not need to I don't need constant chemical intervention, and I'm not interested in it. So, did you ever think this was funny? We can't have voter ID, but we need vaccine ID. Doesn't make a lot of sense now, does it? Hmm. This always freaks people out and be weirdos here. I say there's nothing on earth that calm and de-escalate a man like the right woman. There are times when I talk to a woman at the end of a hard day and it calms me down. Now, it shouldn't end there. Let me plug this back in. Audio is breaking up. Hold on. All right, how's the audio now? So in the same way, a woman can calm and de-escalate a man. A man can provide stability for a woman. I've told you the story 100 times when I was a younger guy dating a woman, watching a video, a VHS video. We went to the video store, got a video. Remember going to video stores to get a video? How wacky was that? And getting a video, watching the video, starting up the fireplace. We heard something out the front door, in the front of the house, in the front windows. And it sounded like somebody was tapping on the window. And I ran over and grabbed a fireplace poker, literally just a fireplace poker, and ran out the front door. At that moment, I saw a raccoon run away from the bushes that were in front of the windows. And I come back in and I put the fireplace poker back. And the woman that I was dating was in shock. She goes, I can't believe you did that. Well, hello, good boy. Did you have a good night's sleep? Huh? Want to come up? Hmm? You want me to? Can I show people what you look like? Huh? You want to come up? Come on. I can pick you up. Come on. Let me pick you up. That's Daddy's good boy. Hmm? Come here. He's shy. He's so funny. He's the best boy in the world. Oh my God. He's the best boy in the world. He's an orange tabby, and he's such an alpha male. Such an alpha male. It's just amazing. I've never seen anyone like him. Let me see if I can find. Let me see if I can show him to you. Hi, good boy. What you doing? Hmm? What? You want some food? Huh? What is it? Huh? Good boy. That's Daddy's good boy. Right? He's purring now. Let's see if you can hear that purr. Daddy's good boy. That's Daddy's good boy. Yes, you are. You're Daddy's good boy. You want to get smushy? Hmm? You want me to get smushes? Hmm? Come here. Come here. You don't have to be shy. You don't have to be shy. You don't. You're just rubbing on everything. Aren't you? But it's not time to eat yet. But you're purring like... That's funny. All right. So he'll come over here and then act like he's not shy. What was I talking about? I totally forget what I was talking about as soon as he came over. Oh, I come back in the house and she had this astonished look on her face. And she says, I can't believe you did that. And I said, what do you mean? And she says, my ex-husband, oh, that's Daddy's good boy. She says, my ex-husband would have been crouching behind the couch, calling 911 because he was scared. It wouldn't occur to me if there was something threatening my family. It would not occur to me. Hi, good boy. That's Daddy's good boy, right? Are you Daddy's good boy? Huh? Are you? Come here. Come here, good boy. Everybody? Huh? That's Daddy's good boy. No one's ever seen that. Right? Give me a kiss. Boy, you're purring a lot right now. You got to support their bottom end as well. Come on. I got you. I got you. There you go. You're comfortable. Now you're like sitting down like a good boy. Good boy. There you go. You never saw my cat. So she just did not understand how I could go to where the trouble was. She had no idea. Where did I get the mentality to go after, to aggressively go to where the trouble is versus run from it? Some people say that's nature. Some people say that's nurture. I say that is a little both. I was raised to be a man and to confront aggression. Yeah. I was not raised to tolerate it. There's nothing on earth that can calm and de-escalate a man like the right woman. There's nothing on earth that can stabilize a woman like the right man. Boy, that's a that's a good song, whatever that was. All right. This is also the longest episode Daybreak show I've ever done. I don't think I've done an hour and 20 minutes before, but I hope you like it. Something different. I was getting bored with just recording things and then doing all the editing. And at least this way, I can keep it up. So, and with that, finish your coffee, and I will see you on the next Daybreak show, your home of sanity, clarity, and reason.